Counter shows on a little bit of a practice session. I just need to see the counter. Do you need their settings? Okay, yeah. The counter shows 19. Okay, so our fuel window is gonna be 18 to 22. You can stretch the 22 to maybe 23, but that's like hard saving. I don't think we'll get to that point, but you never know. Do you want to get your stream up going before we start? Because we got some people up in the chat already. I like to sit in qualifying for the background. So
Oh
if you want
yeah.
to sit in it too. Okay, so yeah, it has been. Everyone's hopped in as much as we're gonna get. So welcome in back to ODRL. I believe this is my first stream back in technically 2 race weeks, but several more considering the shutdown. We are on our second to last race, the cut race for the round of 10. And speaking of our round of 10, we will look at those people that are currently fighting for it. I'm not quite sure on who's all in the race currently until we get after qualifying for the late joins. Find my point sheet.
Yeah, I will note on that real quick. One of the playoff guys, Lee Holloway, he is done for the season. He has made the full transition to
Mm-hmm.
PC. So don't expect the 22 out on track.
Yeah, 22 Ali, who was actually seeded 10th, must-win situation, has retired. So yeah, he is the first one out. The 31 of That's a Hot One, I do see him in the lobby. So he is seated ninth, 58 points back. Almost a must-win situation. It is very much possible, but realistically, I believe he is looking at a must-win. And then we go up one spot, only a few points different to that. He's 55 back. That is Adam is Slow in the 2, or Proxy, as we call him, because he goes by 17 different possible names. Then you go up at a better margin at 39 back. You have Insolvable. He sits seventh. Then GS Racing, who I am not sure if he's in the lobby. Yeah, I don't know if GS is here, but he
Yeah, he's
sits in
not.
sixth at 36. And then the driver next to the line is going to be Lost, who has had a stellar playoffs. He kicked it off very strong, has continued that, but has now caught himself under the cut line at 26 out. So that is the drivers under. We're looking at two drivers already locked in and safe. That is the 8 of Savage and the not 5, the 16 of Irish. Those two are our only locked in cars, and the ones that are fighting to stay in it, who I don't think either are actually in the race. I think we said Sterlo was in the Discord, but I don't think I see his car. Okay, no, Iron Man is actually in the race. I think it is just Sterlo who's just kind of hanging
Wait,
out in the
Sterlo's
Discord, but
in
not
there.
here.
Yeah,
Is he?
Sterlo's in the
Oh, he
lobby.
is.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
behind the 5.
I heard something about him not making it. Well, I wonder if it's next week. But either way, the current top two in the playoffs is in not Insolvable, Iron Man and Sterlo. They are 21 points away from that line that is Sterlo. Or not, sorry, that's actually. Oh, I've been reading it wrong, I think. Oh, yeah, I've been reading the points wrong. I was looking at the actual total points to the leader. They have a separate one to the bottom. It's actually my bad. I guess I can quickly go over that for a second. Looking down at that's a hot one, and Adam, they're 30 points out. Insolvable and GS are 11 and 14 out. Lost and Savage are actually 1 point separation, but Savage is locked. So realistically, it is 5 points to the next driver in that line, while Iron Man has 18 points up.
Yeah, I do want to note real quick. Kind of notice a familiar pattern with who's already locked in. Slight Savage and Irish both on the same team. That being another left turn. I will note that one of their teammates is the 31, so I would not be shocked if the 31 gets help from those two today.
Oh yeah, that is definitely their plan. They're going to work on getting that 31, either a mass amount of points or a win. Alright, I believe that's it for our points there. They're still about halfway through qualifying. No notables from the playoffs that have missed other than Lee, I believe. Actually, have we spotted a GS Racing? Because I do not believe he's in the qualifying lobby.
Yeah, he's not in Discord either.
So that could be our first two eliminated. Let me check the poll. He's marked as racing, so if he's gonna make it, he's got to get up here pretty soon.
Yeah, and he's got to do it fast because I think the first group just ended. Yeah, here comes group 2.
And we do have an NXT 20 Garage 27 car in the race. Who is that? Also, Bren is subbing in the one car.
Yeah, the
Really
27
passed over that
car
for a second
is
there.
M. Jennings.
Mr. Jennings, I believe he is our Season 1 ODRL champion back when it was not named ODRL. Sits where's the track? Also, I have a thing on my channel for channel points to redeem. Use that and put a driver's name and have to sit on that person for a designated amount of laps. And for some reason, Insolvable put it on Mets fan. So my system for that is road courses and super speedways. You get 5 laps on camera. Intermediates, the mile and a halfs, you will get 10, and all short tracks you will get 15. So it looks like at the first 5 laps of our race, we'll be on that 77 Mets van. And at stage ends, hopefully I remember, I'm going to start taking screenshots of that top 10 and I can send it to you. So in the meantime, we can point up what we have on our drivers that need it.
Mhm.
If it's pretty obvious that they're not getting the points they need, then we won't have to worry about it. But if it happens to be like they're getting a few positions, it would be really good to keep track of it.
Yeah, I feel like we'll probably need them anyways with the 43 and the 41.
hmm That's gonna be the closest one to look at, especially in stage one. Twitch just let me block a spam message before it ever sent in the chat. That was cool.
Looks like Group 2 is just finished up.
I believe so. Bren and Bren and Mets fan just killed Didi. I watched him flying up and down the track. Don't bully that man. That's a hate crime.
I think Loss might be practicing for what he hopes is going to come after the race.
Alright, so qualifying should be done within the next few minutes. Earlier, we got our fuel information. I'm actually not sure on our stages, but our fuel window will be lasting at about 19 to 22 laps on green flag runs. I would imagine our stages are somewhere around that number, so it very well could become a fuel strat race. It happens a lot on two times wear for super speedways. Also, seeing every single car lined up by the lineup here is amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know what they were doing until I just started seeing everyone just like go right next to one another.
I got this on stream too. Every single car is in picture. Oh, hot one move. So now it's not. Yeah, and there goes qualifying over. We'll go ahead and back out of that. Oh, okay. Sterlo is missing next week. I knew he said he was going to be missing a week, so I think even if he qualifies in, it would be seeded to the next person. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, or they're just going to take the three.
And that's if he does make it, though.
And he's saying he's hoping the servers go down next week, so that if he does make it, he can race. Bren's got me another invite for whenever they start the race. Just trying to see how many they got in that lobby. Looking at maybe 25 for tonight.
Yeah, it's a pretty good lobby.
I don't see pole, but looks like Didi holds third. Oh, just saw it. Iron Man will take pole. Some playoff drivers that can spot Lost starting 17th, Insolvable starting 12th, Sterlo starting 6th, Irish 10th. Can't see much. Let me go to Bren. I know Bren kind of cycles through everybody. Rocky Top, who was, I believe, our Daytona 500 top qualifier, will be second. So it's Insolvable, Rocky, and Didi. 1, 2, 3. Impact will be starting fifth. I do not see fourth.
Yeah, I see Proxy starting back in 18th. I think that's going to be the one to really watch for. Hot One starting in 7th.
Yeah, good starting spot for him. Someone who needs those points. Hmm. Lost went to the back.
Oh, Camo, Master
Yeah,
Killer wants to join in the booth. Met said that he was all right with it. It's up to you
that's fine.
though. Okay. All right. Let me try and get you in. Uh,
Cowboys fourth.
Let me get you in real quick.
Hey, what's going on?
There we go.
Hey, I'm hearing GS has made it into the Discord, so that will save his chances of trying to make it in. So now we are only down to one driver eliminated already.
Yeah, it sucks not to see all the playoff drivers out on the track, but
Yeah, Lee went all the way to iRacing already. Didn't
yeah,
didn't want to wait the 2 weeks.
that sucks to see. But it still leaves a pretty good group of guys, and I'm confident that we still got a lot of competitors and a lot of great racers out there that can make a really good race. It just leaves an extra spot just so that they don't have to with one less competitor that they have to compete with tonight. So.
Alright, and we have another redeem, so Bren will also be viewed after Mitts. So the first 10 will be on a different car. Let me actually. So I didn't mention it at the start of the stream, but yes, I am joined with another voice today. This is Hendrick Fan, I believe. Yeah, Hendrick Fan is your uh, gamer tag. He is our NXT broadcaster. I will grab a link for the chat here. If anyone is curious to watch over on his point of view, because we have mine up and his, and we also are joined by a surprise Master Killer in for the booth tonight. So we got three for this Talladega race. Alright, so they had to make a new lobby, so I would imagine they are going to pace. Yeah, they're going to pace the lap, so they'll need to get everybody ready. So that'll give us time to get settled in and find who's where. Although it's going to mess up the cycling order, but it should be okay.
You got anyone that you're particularly picking to win the race?
Just off of the situation, that pressure alone, I think the 31 I'm gonna have to like really keep an eye on that I expect to win. Just on the fact that he has a bunch of teammates going to try to help him get that, and that pressure situation of him needing the points.
Mm-hmm.
He is probably, from what I would believe, should be the most aggressive tonight. We have our normal super speedway people that We see run up front all the time. You got Spartan and Iron Man, Irish, Sterlo. Those guys will always be up front, but you got those that need it, so they're gonna force the issue. So looking for that 31 to get something there.
Yeah, I believe I picked him through the podcast last week.
So they're still trying to get the lobby up and going.
Yeah, I believe they're waiting on one person. If
All
not,
right.
they got him. Nope, looks like they got him all. So 10 seconds waiting on my next invite then.
Yep.
If I could actually get that invite. There it is.
So Irish is locked in along with
Irish and Savage are our two locks.
Savage.
So looking at two spots that are not locked in. I believe the closest to the line is Sterlo at 5 up over Lost.
Yeah, well, I see that Nick. It's looking like he's getting ready to advance in, so it'll be definitely between Sterlo and Lost. GSR has a big thing if he wants to accomplish getting
Mm-hmm.
into the playoffs and trying to get a win. I know he
So yeah.
can. He's got the driving talent with what I've seen driving part time in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
He's
But
definitely one to look out for.
looking over at Iron Man, he's had a really good last few weeks, but we've also seen somebody tank in points off of one race. Take Lost, for example. He had an amazing playoff run. Now he sits under the line. In the first
Yeah, and
round, he almost won every single race. Now he's at the one spot from being cut out. So hopefully Iron Man runs a solid race and does not lose out on 18 points.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't have to go for the win. He can just go for points and try to just get a max points day, and he lock himself in that way. So
Mm-hmm.
if I was Iron Man, I'd be sitting pretty right now.
I want to touch back with the 41. So Lost actually didn't get any stage points at Phoenix. That's one reason
Mm-hmm.
why he's where he's at. Another person that I do think was the biggest loser last race for Phoenix was the two car. He had a great car to
Oh
start,
yeah, the lag out.
lagged out. So if he wants to have a chance tonight, it's going to be a matter of whether he can stay in the race and if he can be in the right spot at the right time.
Is there only enough for suspect in the lobby, or
Oh, is it full?
Shouldn't
I
be.
haven't?
They might
Oh,
have
well,
set
I
it
haven't
to
been looking.
28.
Nah, I'm able to watch.
Oh, Hendrik, you
I
good?
just didn't see the invite.
Yep. Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, so we're all done.
That's
Okay,
enough. Yeah.
they probably had it to 30 then. All right, so they're getting ready to roll up to the restart zone. They're entering the triangle. Iron Man leads them down on the inside. We got Rocky Top on the outside, followed by Cowboys and DD second row. Got the graboid package. It is at go from the green, so no pushing that leader in the bottom lane. Here we go through the zone, and immediately Iron Man kicks out in front. Oh, but a lag kick. I think he just lag kicked into the DD. It was a massive hit back there. I'm not sure on whose side that was, but he gets out front ahead of the 50. DD making a run down with impact, following behind him Irish and that teammate that needs those points. That 31 of that's a hot one.
Yeah, in this stage, currently they have 28 to go and with the fuel window, they will have to make a stop with around maybe 10 laps to go in this stage. So it'll be interesting to see how they fan out here for these first set of laps.
Ooh, first
Another
takers down the middle
contender.
lane didn't think they wanted to be down there. Insolvable and I believe that was Sterlo almost had trouble.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit
Also,
of a
I'm gonna
kick from
sit on.
Sterlo and then Solvable. And Solvable got in the middle lane. Luckily, he's found a hole back up to the top. So, not what he wanted early in the stage, but plenty enough time to regroup.
So off that first lap, or not Insolvable, Iron Man led that first lap. Now we are on Mets fan for that redeem for our next 5 because everyone wanted this.
And this was a nightmare opening lap for GS. He's not even in the pack anymore. He's with the 27 car. They're about
Oh yeah, I
already a
see him
good
now.
second and a half behind.
So he is already looking for a caution. You see them off in the background. Trying to get a gauge on who's being patient right now, considering we have a pit stop at the end of towards the end of the stage, and who's just trying to pick up some track position to be ready for it. Oh, sorry.
It may not
Yeah,
have
they
been
still have.
planned from GS to fall that far back, but looking at how the pack is, it could be easy that the contenders in the lead pack get into trouble and there could be a caution. Gets GS caught up really quickly.
Yeah, because with everyone being as calm as they are right now, that's not what GS needs. He needs them to start getting more aggressive. So if a caution does happen, hopefully it's not before he gets lapped, being off pace since the beginning of the race.
And it only takes one bad kick and a pretty big checkup for an incident to happen.
Oh, big stack up here, 16 and 8. That's going to kick the 31 out.
12 being called flag, I think. 12's being called flag.
Yeah. That's definitely gonna mix up the field pretty quickly. There's no bottom line.
I had a feeling that he was lagging earlier after that kick I saw.
He jumps up to the top. He needs to hope and pray they can hold on to the draft of the pack. So he's falling like a good 5 car lengths off the pack.
And our main leaders have single filed up by the wall, rim riding it, while everyone's kind of cycled out in the back. And now we have a 2-pack run being led by the 18, and they're also trying to catch up to those guys who are running 2 lanes all the way down to the apron and all the way up to the wall.
Definitely see a bunch of nervous cars that just have to just dig in and settle in. Just try to ride this first run out.
This is the last lap of the Mets redeem. Honestly, I'm probably going to do Bren's on the next stage, considering he's off by himself in the 18th. I've already had people chop off the stream because we've not had any racing action up here.
Yeah, an update on the 12 with the lag. Although he did settle down, he's not even in the pack anymore. He's still ahead of the 10th to 27, but he's not even close to the lead pack anymore.
Very gone.
And I know
That's gonna
we said it
hurt
earlier.
if he doesn't get back up there.
We said it earlier that he might be safe. Well, if that lag persists and it keeps on eliminating him from being in the front pack, it could cost him a lot of opportunities for points and ultimately even a good finishing spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't count his chickens before it hatches.
Yeah,
Even if the person he's battling winds up not getting stage points, if he continues to run back there around 20th to 25th, that finishing position alone is what's going to knock him out.
Yeah, we talk about the misfortunes and a couple of the playoff contenders losing the pack. The highest playoff contender that's not locked in is Sterlo, sitting in a good second on the outside lane. Is doing what he needs to do if he's going to try to gain or try to get as much points as possible.
Yeah, doesn't have to win the stage, but a good stage finish can go a long way. Still very early though, still have that scheduled pit stop if we don't have a caution. I believe we are nearing that fuel window actually. As in the next few laps, we will be within it because it is about 18 to 22. And this top lane is so close to that wall. I'm pretty sure. Oh, about to say, a lap ago that 43 tagged the wall, and they did that time out of 4 as well. Doesn't affect them much, but that top 4 are pulling away from the 23.
Yeah,
Not
I
much
just
can
saw the 50
form on
at
the bottom
wall.
either.
Yeah, Rocky and Cowboys both tapped the wall on the front stretch. Wasn't too big of a hit, but with the way that they're running close to one another, even the slightest of hits can slow down that line, cause a big stack up.
And any break of the momentum is definitely going to bring the bottom lane closer to the front car. But it just seems like they even with the momentum breaks and all that, they're struggling to get close to the leader.
Looks like Bren and those rest of the cars that were in that second pack have caught everybody. Bit of a breakaway right now on them, but they are back in this main pack.
And look who's the last car in the pack, the 41. Lost is being really
Started
patient
dead
right
last.
now. Yeah. Sitting there at the end. Looks like the 18 of Insolvable's also back there. Both not really trying to push the issue right now.
Solvable is 14 points out of the cut line currently right now. He sits at the tail of this lead pack.
Unfortunately, the top line has broken up a little bit. There was a little bit of a break towards the rear of the top lane. That's why Insolvable fell back a little bit. But they're trying to regroup and try to get with the pack so they can not lose the draft and can at least still try to attempt to have a good stage finish.
Oh, here we go. Little stack up there on the top. 43 have to go down for just a quick moment. That slowed everybody down.
I see they're still trying to figure out their lanes and still trying to get comfortable in the positions that they are in. A lot of unsteady nervousness.
Currently sitting at 19 laps to go in the stage. Fuel window is open for pits.
Oh, man, close call with the 50 and the 23. 50 came up. 23 was right there.
Looks like the bottom lane has now cleared and gotten past the top lane of the pack due to just the momentum breaks and the little bit of checkups.
I'm seeing a few cars in the tail of this field now that I normally never see. You got Savage and Cowboys, the last 2 cars of this, I believe this is your top 18. Oh no, sorry, this is your top 22. Pretty much the entire field is within this pack, only a few cars outside of it.
Yeah, that top lane looks like it's got back even, maybe a little bit ahead of the bottom lane pack. Just trying to test out and get a feel for their cars. Just trying to see how they work with one another and try to write this out until their pit stop.
Yeah, if they're still fairly calm right now, so once those pits start happening, looking for who's going to be the first one to go in, because that bottom lane has the advantage of doing that, while everyone in that top lane is almost basically committed unless they start backing out towards that time.
There was a little moment between the 2 and the 5, and let's check the 5 up a little bit. Now there's a 2 currently separating him from the 5 and the 2. That's also checked at that top lane. It's going to help the bottom lane go because the momentum on the top lane is broken up for a quick second, but it doesn't take him long to get
this
back.
5 is making runs like he is. Tagged by the 5.
Move. He's bringing along the 14 and the 1.
I was just about to say, I was on him earlier. He was the furthest car out of line, barely had draft, and is able to catch them and be put in this position. He's fallen back now, but he got all the way back into the top 10 after being completely out of the draft.
It looks like it was just a little bit of impatientness out of the 5. That's going to drop him to the second to last car on the top lane. It's a patience game right now. You just need to let the line do its thing, and if it's moving up, then you got to ride the line. But if you don't got the momentum, you do got to make a move, and that's what he's trying to do. He's alongside the 3 for in the middle lane. Don't know how that's going to work out though.
Look at Mets fan 5th in line on the bottom. Holding with Irish and Hotland. Sits right there behind them.
Now, luckily
We
with
have
these
about
cars, it's
5 laps to go for
definitely helps equalize these guys out competitive wise. But just the pack in the draft is just the biggest equalizer in this racing game. But the top, if you can just find the right guys with momentum and speed, and you can work well with them, you can definitely help your line move and be pretty dominant. The top line gets back out in front.
I was just about to say that top line has been the most consistent, even if hitting the wall, they have stayed together. They have not really dropped anybody out. It does look like Impact has the lead right now, so I'm not sure how that happened. It's a bit off of center.
Midnight Mission Motorsports is holding all the top 3 spots right now. The 42, the 47, and the 43.
And they have dropped to the bottom. So we are about 4 laps on fuel. I would imagine that says these guys are going to be pitting very soon.
Yeah, it looks like the pack has all figured out, gotten in a straight line on the bottom. That's the biggest telltale sign of strategy. Yeah, the 2 doesn't look committed though.
About to say, he's the only car on the outside now. They were just riding the wall, painting it that entire time since green.
8 got along the south side of the 4, now the 8's on the top side. He's going to have to try to get in. The 55's not going to let him. Still doesn't look like this.
Aggressively.
Yeah.
Ooh, 2 car falls down.
Careful.
He tags the apron getting all the way down there.
31's now shut out there outside. He got back in line in front of the 8 of Savage.
Yeah, so Savage joins his teammates together. Keep an eye on those guys.
So it should be within now and the next 2 laps. We should see pit stops.
Mm-hmm.
They might.
I would not be surprised if we see any come in now. Actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a good part of this pack that's trying to organize to come, either based on the calls now or as there's a big checkup with the 8.
Honestly, I kind of want to hear this Discord. Everybody's trying to call pits.
Doesn't look like anyone's coming in that time. I think another thing to watch for, considering how many cars
chopped on the 2. Silent Kings almost took out the 2 car. They get settled back down.
That's
I think when they get around next time, what you got to watch for is who is going to make a mistake entering pit road. Because if all these cars enter in together, there's going to be a mistake that happens.
We're about to see 22 vehicles pit all at one time.
This is probably someone's worst nightmare, probably around the mid-pack.
Someone's going to stay out just to not be a part of it and expect a caution.
Yeah, if they do that, they better have someone with.
Yeah. You definitely want to get a couple friends just to dodge.
There they go.
Entry.
A lot of cars taken.
1 car
from
stayed
the
out.
main pack taking the 31 tags to 23. But I think he made it down in time.
Yeah.
A lot of cars there. I don't know.
Oh, Impact.
What all just happened?
Impact's out.
Someone lagged out.
That was Impact.
Impact is lagged out. We got a couple people that stayed out on the racetrack that didn't pay. It would be the 2 of Adam, the 55, the 9 of Georgia, and the 77 of Mets.
Yeah, at the time leader lags out driving into pit road.
Just as Master was talking about, there are at least 5 cars that stayed out. Proxy being 1, Lost, Spartan, 77 to 9.
So something just happened. That 31 is coming out of pit road, connected back behind the 16. I don't see the 23 at all, so he got pushed into a penalty by the 31. Oh, that's a hot one. That could be detrimental if that comes back to hit him after the race.
Looks like the leader from the group of cars that pitted that have came out as the 16, followed by that's a hot one on the 48.
Yes, and right now our current in pit road leader is the 41. Honestly, and I think the 77. But here they go. Lost, Proxy, Spartan, I believe that is Georgia Dog, and Mets. They are leaving. Here comes the hard-charging Irish
Irish,
on
that's a
the
hot one, and
outside,
Mac.
connected with the hot one and Mac.
Two cars that are gonna
Yeah, it
be
doesn't look
the first
doesn't
pack.
look like they're going to be able to connect with that second line. And they
Well-
actually got disorganized trying to stay with that
Oh,
route.
yeah.
The second pack is going to catch the first pack and is going to look to make a move to the inside and try to. As the 16 stays up, the 31, and that's a hot one, comes down and blocks the run of the one car.
I am looking
Oh,
at this lead pack of cars, which is, I think, our complete top 10. There are 2 cars in this that are locked into this Final Four, and there are 2 cars that are the lowest on points looking in. As the 18 and 31.
Yeah, that's the top
Sutton
9.
making a run down that bottom.
Yeah, that's the
Zerlo-
top 9 right there. So someone who is not in this pack has a chance of getting stage points. Right now, that's getting held by the 2.
Serlo has fallen back into this third group with the 3, the 47, the 55, 23, 5, 9, and 77 out of the top 10.
So they got a good few drivers there. They might be able to catch that front pack. I'll see how many laps we have to go when we get up to it.
That's a hot one. Has to hope that his 2 Chevy partners behind him can stay organized with him so that no one can charge. But
Yeah,
there's a pretty good difference in manufacturers in that pack, though.
Right now, he's sitting amazing, leading this stage with 8 laps to go. He has Bren, who's not in for points. Savage, who's not in for points. 4 car of Silent Kings, who's not in for points. All sitting in behind him, so they are going to probably stay solid right where they are. And then you look at the 18, who needs to pick up on not only the 31, but the 16 directly behind him. Or not the 16, the 43.
And look what else
bit
is
behind
happening
him.
here. Look at the 10th place pack here. The 2, the 41, the 14, both, they all got passed. They are now consumed into that larger group that's led by the 3. I think this pack's going to end up catching the lead group here within the next lap or 2.
We're gonna make
It's looking like it.
Okay, the front pack has gone up into the top 2 lanes so that they can push and not have to just hold off on the graduate package, but it's still going to allow the pack behind them to catch up because they can utilize the bottom lane and gain more time.
So we are currently at 7 to go, and that group of cars, is that being led by Squid?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the first squid,
It
yes.
is. So Squid, I didn't mention it, but he was our very first winner of the season. He won the dual race and was able to seed with Rocky Top up by the front. And they have all caught this front pack in 2 laps as we roll up to 6 to go. That's a hot one. Still leads, getting those points that he needs.
We're going to make a minor correction. Savage is in the points, but he is locked in.
Yeah, he's locked in, so he's not in for the points.
Yeah, here comes the 3, making that run to the inside, already next to the 44 and the 50. That's making
This
everyone
car
else ahead of
scrambled
them
to drop
respond.
down. A few cars got left out. Bren, Mac, Rocky Top Cowboys, and Adam. They got dropped out. Adam, who needs the points as well. He's in the tail of this lead lap. Or, yeah, this lead pack.
But it looks like that's a hot one. Did make the correct lane choice and is leading the dominant and most formed pack right now. With the 8 car behind him.
Also,
Savage.
looks like we have a entry of the 42 Impact has left the infield care center, has joined us up here in the booth. car just burst into flames under braking.
Do you believe you possibly burst a brake rotor and that got an oil line?
Thank you. Ooh. Alright,
Yeah.
that's fine. About to say, the 16 of Irish chopped out from that bottom lane. Was trying to make the run. It got closed by Didi, and now someone who that 16 needs to keep ahead of is getting much needed positions while he falls back. He's got to get that 18, but Insolvable sitting very solid in 4th right now.
Looks like the 18 tried to back off, and then the car behind him backed off even more. The 47 trying to build a run, but if they just if they keep off of them, they're not going to have that opportunity to make that last-ditch effort to make a pass. Come off of turn 4. Top pack still trying to make ground, but it doesn't look like they're going to do so. Still going to be orderly on the bottom. No one's attempt to pass yet. 31's still trying to keep everyone behind.
So we are at
3 to go.
3 laps to go in
3
this
to go.
stage. Keep in mind we have not been able to call cautions the last few laps. Cut off at 5. Insolvable is building a run as well as the 47 of Didi.
Didi's
Didi's going to take it down the
Insolvable.
backstretch going into turn 3. So that's going to get closed up by the 18.
Thought about going to the outside. Didn't move up there yet.
Yeah, it's going to allow the 48 to sneak into that hole.
The 8 and the 4 have come up. The
That
4
run got going.
is
The 8
covering
puts him
Didi.
to the wall. Drives up hard. Loses his position by blocking that top lane. Now Insolvable up into 3rd after that. Sterlo back in the picture. He sits right here 5th in line. Currently 5th now as he passes the 47.
That's something Insolvable needed. The whole outside got deformed by the move of the 8. So looks
Look
like
who's in the
Insolvable's
middle.
going to make a move.
Insolvable going up by himself. No help. He's going to drop his chances out of a good stage finish.
That's
Watch
something
this
to
top lane being
definitely
led by
regret.
Didi. He's got the 41 of Lost on with him.
Don't look now, but that 43 of Sterlo, he's up to that 4th spot. 4th car on the inside line.
It's just being patient, watching the guys in front of him on the inside lane make a mistake and go up and they get sent out. It looks like the 4 is dropped off the rear bumper. That's a hot one, trying to get a run off the 2. He manages it well. Sterlo tries to go up, but fails, getting in front of Didi, and it looks like that's a hot one's going to try to go up there. Didi's going to try to make a move, but it wasn't in time enough. It's going to leave out the 41, who gets back in line behind the 5. The 4 is going to take the lead. The 48 and the 5 pushing him. Not enough help on the top for that's a hot one.
Good recovery by the 1. Almost wrecked it there in the middle of the pack as they're trying to end this stage.
Hot one falling. A loss picked up a bunch of positions. The highest current playoff driver coming to the line and will hold, I believe, a 4th at the stage. Proxy picks up, I believe, 5th. So a few guys that needed the points, they get ahead of this 31. So now, that's a hot one. Might be looking at that Mustang situation now. I think that might have just settled it.
Sterlo fell considerably back outside the top 10. Adam may have sneaked in a couple points, maybe 1. 2. Irish didn't get any points.
I can't see the top 10.
Insolvable in front of the 9. Probably got some points too.
I couldn't see the top 10 to get a screenshot of it. So I'm unsure where we will stand on points.
Yeah, I know the 31 got 7.
I'm pretty sure Adam and Solvos around him, so. '41 definitely got some much needed ground on Sterling though. They're back under green for stage 2 with Silent out in the lead.
I
The
believe we
bottom
have
lane.
27 laps for this stage, so still another pit stop scheduled.
BB moves up to be in front of the 48. Line's gonna get a good push down the straightaway. They grow even with the inside line. Silent Kings gets the edge with the help of the bottom lane.
Ooh,
The 44,
Cowboy squeezes the 5 in.
and that's a
gonna
hot
kill
one.
that top lane.
Yeah, that's a hot one's gonna take the lead from Silent King as it's a nervous outside pack. The first lap of this stage was led by That's a Hot One.
So he gets down. He has Fast Racer, Irish, Savage, Proxy, and Didi all in that line. Followed by Lost and Sterlo. A lot of aggressive cars in the bottom lane. Speaking of, there goes that 43. Tried to peek out and get to the top lane. Not able to get there. Proxy gets left out by Didi to try to make a run. They didn't get that going anywhere near the starting point.
Sterlo was able to find a hole behind Lost, so he's probably sitting about 7th or 8th car in that bottom lane. So that bottom lane is looking like the preferred one at the moment as the outside is deforming.
Yeah, I was going to say the 44 and the 4 disconnected, and that's going to cause everyone there to slow down a little bit. Now the 44 is going to lead the middle of the 3 lanes, and the 4, who went from winning stage 1, is all the way towards the back half of this front pack.
Speaking of the back half, almost checked up. We are 4 wide back here. The 27 under the apron trying to get back on. Forced down.
Fast Racer has
the
taken the lead from That's a Hot One.
Oh my goodness, the 5 car!
5
just
up and
shot
down
his way
the
up to the
track.
high line.
He tried to get down to follow the 4. He wasn't let in and had to dive up to dodge. I'm surprised nobody back here wrecked. Ooh. Squid diving 4 wide on the 10, 9, and 18, splitting 3 more cars, trying to get going by himself. This is back here for 20th.
Lots of moves being made. Savage and Didi on the top lane. Looks like Didi got the wall in the entry of 1. And Sterlo's going to come up to the top. That was smooth as butter the way he did it.
Look at Proxy making his way through the middle. Won't have any help.
That's going to slow that bottom lane down with a little bit of side draft on that 3rd car. That top lane's going to prevail and get a good run coming off of turn 4 here.
Yoshi just totally dodged his teammate Adam, and he's caught in the sucker hole between the 2 lines of cars.
Yeah, the 22 driven by Yoshi, as it was Lee's car, or one playoff driver eliminated from contention.
As the top lane, Sterlo has resumed the lead, but Savage looks like he's to the outside of Sterlo.
And will take it over that 43. The 22 goes to follow, but makes it 4 wide.
He got back in the bottom line, the 22 did. And Sterlo is now in the middle of the sucker hole. Oh, it looks like he made it back in line on the top lane.
2 lanes split again, all the way at the bottom to all the way at the top.
Yoshi's trying to make that middle lane work. He's on the outside of the Irish, but couldn't make it work. Now he's stuck in the sucker hole. The middle is now held up by both Squid and Yoshi. as they're still continuing to drop back. It looks like Sterlo and Zalvo are going to try a move in the middle of both lines.
Yeah, there's not much this middle's going to be able to do unless people start getting aggressive and taking it, but as we sit right now, I believe still just outside the field window. We have about 13 laps to go on our fuel. Looking for the actual amount of laps left in the stage. We'll see when we get there.
That's a hot one, sitting perfectly fine as the second car of the bottom lane in third place, doing what he needs to do to try to get as much points as he can at the end of the stage. Still going to have a pit stop coming up though.
And we are currently at 21 to go for this, so outside of the main fuel window, but still inside of the technical window. So still a long way to go for stage 2.
50 way below.
Rocky Top having to fall out. Not sure what happened back there with him.
Yeah, it looked like the line stacked up and the 50 tried to get under the 77. Fortunately, there was little to no room.
As it looks like the outside lane has taken over the lead over the bottom lane and gotten out front.
Ooh, Mets
With
and
Sterlo,
Squid diving up to join them up in his tail.
Lost.
Four wide back here in
Aiken
the backfield again.
Sterlo's gonna fall, or not Sterlo, the A of Savage is gonna fall after he got on the wall out of 2. Gonna give Lost the top lane and probably the lead at the moment while DD's at the bottom. Having more cars behind him and the line to push him to the front.
Oh, 12 on the wall.
Big stack up on the top lane. Sterlo jumps to the top lane to be behind the 5 car. Oh, never mind, he go to the middle. Sterlo followed by Insolvable in the middle lane. Not much help as the 5 drops in the middle lane to help him.
So now we have a third lane formed. Sterlo Unsolvable, T-Stone, and Cowboys. Looks like 4 and 1 going to connect as well.
Middle lane has deformed and has broken off into both the top and bottom lanes. DD, the leader of the bottom lane, and Lost, the leader of the top lane, as Sterlo and Sub will try the middle lane again.
Looks like everyone should have around 10 laps of fuel left, so pit stop's still a little ways to go. But I believe we're getting close to where the window would be open.
DD has made the choice to go to the top lane and line up with Lost. If Lost is willing to line up with DD, and that top lane's going to gain some more momentum. Sterlo and Sub will still working with the middle as DD comes down to be in that line.
Right, and we have 17 laps to go in this stage inside the fuel window now. Still have a while to go before we start seeing the takers. About
Pretty
9
impressive.
on the window.
Pretty impressive to see the middle lane work with 3 cars as 23 pulls up. Don't know if he's going to go the middle lane or outside. Looks like he's going to stay middle and help DD's, Sterlo, and Solvable. Those are some pretty strong cars to be able to hang in the spots that they are in.
They almost have that top lane clear, but the 48 able to get back to the 41, and they start pushing forward on the top lane just a bit. Fastly sitting solid, content down on the bottom, being pushed by this 31.
Yeah, they should have the 43 get clear of the 41 here entering 1 and 2.
Not quite yet. 41 still has the bumper on the 18, but they are clear now. They can move up and form with that top line. The outside line has looked like it's got the lead edge over the inside, but with the inside being on the bottom, the shortest way around, they should get the lead here. Maybe not. Outside is really strong with those 4 cars from the middle lane. I'd probably give them an estimate, probably 7 to 8 laps. We should see them in pit road soon for their
Yeah,
one
they're
and only
currently
pit
at
stop on the stage.
7 laps of fuel left. 55, a fast racer, has fallen backwards from that lead, being taken by Dusty and held. Sterlo sitting in third. Someone who
5
needs
car
to
makes
keep
a
up on
move.
points.
We'll see if the whole lead lap pack is all going to pit at once, or if we're going to have a section of the pack drop off in pit so there's not a big old bungle of cars going to pit road like there was last stage. I do got to say they are forming the outside pretty strong here, and I got to hand it to the first 4 cars of that outside lane. They've been getting after it and have been probably the strongest bunch of the race. So if they stay together, the field is going to have to figure out how to split them.
Good move there by Sammy to get up. Not Sammy. That's a hot one to move up to the outside line. 22, however,
Lost in the
able to
wall
follow.
hard. Gonna a big checkup for this front lane.
Cars scattering everywhere, trying to
Lost got
regroup.
it. Spartan had to back off. Might have made contact with his teammate there. That's going to disband most of that front lane. It's going to give that bottom lane room to work with again and have more numbers.
The top 5 cars might have been able to split, but the pack just regrouped so quickly. The draft is just so... It's got such a massive pull on these cars that you can't keep them separated for long. Unless it's just a single car that gets thrown out there for the wolves.
16 car taking charge to the inside. Looks like the 31's going to go down.
.23, DD, Sterlo, and then Salvador's. I was going to say they're still together, but they're all going to move in conjunction to the bottom lane to stay in front of the oncoming pack.
We are 12 laps to go, stage 2.
They continue to be the first 4 cars to lead this race. 23 taps the apron because it regroups pretty quick. That's an interesting move. Both top and middle lines have deep forms, and they're all on the bottom. Could we
Looks
be
like they're
expecting
getting ready for pits. Yep. The fuel is close on some. I wouldn't be surprised if we see takers. Not that time.
Yeah, it looks like the back end of the pack is still trying to figure out where they're supposed to be.
Looks like they have figured it out now. We do have all these cars single file now. I gotta believe that they're gonna be pitting within the next lap or 3.
1 to 2. NCAR is showing 3 right now. And we are 11 to go, coming to 10 to go.
For it being a plate race, for this league, we've never really kind of seen the manufacturers really group up as of late. Try to just make a plan and try to get off strategy. It's just been straight up racing. Just natural form of racing.
That is definitely a signal by the 43s. So
Yeah.
gotta
I would
look
have to
for
assume this time.
him plus many more leaders gonna be pitting this time.
If I'm looking at someone that may want to try and do that same strategy as last time, I would maybe look at someone like the 2. Nope, never mind, 2 signals.
A lot of cars
We're
signal.
getting multiple cars signaling.
Right. We saw it last time. A bunch of cars in the 23 got the hit on it that time, but majority of the
That's a
cars
hot
made it in
one.
clean.
Out of line. Looks like 16's of Irish
He
is going to try to help
he needs
him
to
get
get
him
in.
down.
Yeah, his teammates getting him in, but he's gonna stay out with him. A good few takers on the out there. Our front 4
Oh,
making
he
it
got a
fine.
Oh!
27
Maybe
and
some
the
contact in
41
the
lost.
background.
Car spun around!
8 car didn't
Savage
make
is
it.
around.
Yeah, Savage!
He chooses to go back to the line. He's able to make it that way. That is a risky thing to do, but you do have some leeway of driving backwards.
Looks like the 27 did
No, he
get
doesn't.
in contact with the
Savage does not get back to the line.
Mets.
Yeah, meanwhile, his teammates, the 31 and 16, they both stayed out with the 10 and the 44.
So yeah, that's a hot one. Irish
31
and
and 10
GSL
are
Racing
like
are the ones out.
the 2 to watch right now on points.
They are
Them
pitting
being
right
under.
now. 44 not too far behind them.
And they get in good.
We go back to the lead pack. It looks like it is lost. Ironman and Didi, the top 3, with Adam and the 23, the top 5, separate from the rest of the field. Looks like that is the 8 of
Savage is out of gas.
Savage is
Out of gas.
out. So that was basically his race, I would imagine.
And he's got to be really fortunate that he ended up winning at Phoenix, because if he didn't win that race, this
That
would
would
be a whole
mean
different story.
Big trouble there for him, yeah. So right now, Lost leading this pack on the way out. Clears the 10 barely on that low lane. Sitting
wrong with
duck
DS.
that 31 and 16. He was just slowed getting off a pit road there. No help from his friends up front.
That one and Irish are the top 2.
And there they go. Hopefully
gonna
they
get
can keep
past
track
every
of this
pack.
draft. If they can, that would be huge for them. Considering Lost is the one leading this pack, as well as Ironman right here in second on him. And they connect.
This is what Lost needed, but it's definitely what he needed because Sterla, I don't think, is in the top 10, but he might be with the second pack.
I believe he is. Looking for a 43.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't think he is.
Oh,
Yeah, Sterlo
that's
just
going to be
crossed the finish
huge
line.
for.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be huge for Lost if he can.
Sterlo's
get the
by
stage
himself.
And
He's
here's
in.
the thing.
He's in front of Savage.
The thing here
Something
is,
big happened
if
there.
the 41 wins the stage and the 43 doesn't get stage points, depending on where they finish at stage 1, they could be tied.
Yeah. Luckily, Lost has a couple of friends with him, a couple of Ford friends. He's got both Iron Man and Adam with him. It's just with this grappling package that's going to help that second pack close in even more and maybe be up with the leaders at towards the end of the stage.
And I also like where the 12's running in second. I mean, already entering in this race at such a good spot. If he can finish there and get those 4 extra points, that will be detrimental for him.
Yeah, after missing out on stage 1, that hurt him. He had 18 points going up, so he's not under currently, but definitely needs to keep up something to keep where he was. Get a lap count once to get up to the line.
It'll be 5 to go here.
I have full confidence that Iron Man can be there at the end. His talent is greatly immense. This whole field is stacked. But if anyone can be there at the end, I know Iron Man can be. He's probably
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the strongest competitors that I've raced week in and week out with.
Alright, so no more cautions, and so far we've not had a single caution in this race so far. And I say it like that because I'm trying to jinx it because I want to see somebody go in the air. Why is it that we've seen multiple vehicles get launched into space at Vegas, but we haven't seen anything at a super speedway?
Yeah, I'll give it until maybe the late 80s in the lap counter for cars to start going into outer space.
Yeah,
And
just the biggest things that add to mayhem and chaos is just the pack being together and being towards the end of either a stage or towards the end of the race. That's always the most nervous part of these plate races.
speaking of being together, look who's joining the party. The rest of the field as they take 4 to go.
And that second group is led by the 4 who won the first stage.
They
Got a
might
Some
have
fourth right
drivers they
behind
got
them.
in that pack that we should be looking at here. We got the 18, the 10. Is that the
The 22,
fourth there?
Yoshi.
So yeah, the 18 and 10, two playoff guys that need to get those points back.
as the laps count off, I don't think that second pack has closed in that much on the first one. Probably inches every single lap, but I don't see them making enough improvement in order to catch this front pack.
But here's another crucial factor. Look what's ahead of the leaders. We got lap traffic. The 50's already up there ahead by himself. Where's he going to go once these two packs start to catch up towards him?
Well, the first pack deformed. Adam got out of line, and that's a hot one. Made his move. That's
Here comes the Ford
deformed
on the bottom.
front pack.
Hot one blocks it.
So
Well, Irish.
all it took was one competitor to get out of line, or for someone to make a move, and all of a sudden these two packs have formed.
That block that they just did, watch how this helps this 31, who needs to get up there. He's going to dive and slice through the field all the way to the lead, 3 wide. But no help. Didi's going to connect to the 12. The 31 slides down in front of the lead. Slices everybody. A 4-car pass.
That's a hot one. Made a pretty aggressive move. Almost got into the front bumper of the 41, but was able to clear him enough and to get in front of Ironman to get on the bottom lane to lead this front pack.
Rocky Top to go get out of the way.
But Lost
You're coming
gonna
up to the white flag stage.
Two cars right behind the 50, though. Irish and Insolvable.
Lost, who was looking really good, is now in the middle line, getting stuck behind Ironman. Has fallen a good number of places, but has slid. He's actually made the pass on the 12 to get in front of Ironman to be the leader of the middle lane. She just doesn't have enough help.
Of that 41 are all in the top 5 right now. That 10 car is a teammate. The 14 and 4 are a teammate. It's the final lap of the stage. They're going to go up to help him. Blocked by the 31. 4 gets back in line. The 14 gets shuffled out, but pulling the 41 2 of the 23 to the top lane.
22 attempted to make a pass, but fell off, so he wouldn't get penalized. Adam is with GS Racing on the bottom behind the 9, as Didi and the 23 are on the top with Irish. They're losing momentum to the bottom lane. That's a Holland continues to lead the bottom lane for the 4 and the 9. Coming to the green and white.
Wish I could find the front pack. Here we go. And that's a hot one. Will take 10 points at the stage. Over the 10, over the 12, over the 18.
And GS will come home 4th in stage 2. Adam will be 5th.
So Lost did not get the points that he needs. That's a hot one. Picks up another good amount of stage points there. I don't think he got many in stage 1, but we'll pick up 10 now. So even closer. He's still under the line, though. He's got to get some good positions or win this race.
I'm not sure of solvable finish. I'm not sure if he was 8th or 9th or 10th, but it does look like it's going to be a win situation for him as well.
It looks like he got 10th, so he will pick up 1 point. I think he needed to pass Lost and Sterlo. Oh yeah, and GS. So currently Insolvable basically must win unless a bunch of drastic position changes, as well as that 31.
32 laps here in the run, so they have to pit at least once.
Mhm. Coming off the pit cycle of the stage, that's a hot one, keeps the lead. And it looks like he's going to continue to try to use the outside lane as his preferred lane as GS and Adam take the lead on the bottom with Irish and the 22 Yoshi.
So now GS to lead the first time tonight, coming up to see if he can lead that lap. Almost didn't make the race.
Oh my
Irish
goodness,
makes a
Irish.
risky move.
Right in front of his teammate, too.
Adam
Proxy jumps up as well. Here
DD
comes the
lost
47 to DD.
41
The two
also
gets
made a
hung up
move
by
as well.
Irish. Check up on the top lane. Well, this
Biggest
also could be
loser
a
there was
moment.
the two.
This could also be a moment where it could get chaotic if everyone's trying to just move in front of each other. But it looks like it has sorted out for the moment. 23 and the 18 is solvable are falling as they got in the middle lane. They're going to be picked up by Savage.
Oh, 22 way below.
Yoshi moves to the apron. Not sure why.
He's able to get back on. Yeah, not sure what happened there with him either.
Doesn't look like it could be a lag call. Maybe it's just a restart issue. Maybe I'm not sure. Only lost of power.
Both him and the 77, both are about to lose the draft.
Yeah.
Oh, check up back here. Cowboys and Spartan, a little bit of contact. Check up on those guys.
Another big checkup in the middle. They're still trying to get it gathered up.
Oh,
Savage
back
looked
there, more
loose.
contact. Fast Racing Cowboys contact again. Not sure what's happening back there with that 44.
And if you're one of those playoff guys, this is where you don't want to see your teammates fall out of the lead pack. You got to have them all with you here for this final part of the race.
I believe everyone in this field has teammates other than this 18. I think he's got that 23 as a bit of an affiliate, so he's going to try to work with Dusty Stud, see if they can get something going.
If you don't got your teammates around you, then you got to look for friends in high places, sometimes low places. DD continues to work with Lost and Irish in that top lane.
Bottom
top lane
being
has
ran
been
by the 18, going to join the 12 and 14. No, he's going to go up to the middle. All the way to the top and joins those leaders, passes that 12 and 14 immediately. Drops back down to the bottom, catches the 9. 18 stays with him, and now Insolvable moves up into the top lane after the 5 drops out.
Five looks like he couldn't
being
decide if
led.
he wanted to go with his teammate or stay in line. Looks like he
Still
made the
being led
teammate
by the
choice.
47.
Well, at least for the 5, he could still lead that inside line unless the 14 does something. Looks like he does.
Their top 5 continues to be DD, Lost, Irish. That's a hot one. And now it's going to be Adam as he makes a move under, but is going to lose ground. 48 continues to be in 5th. Adam and the 55 are going to be picked up on the bottom lane.
Oh, man, close call with the 10 and the 4.
Big shakeup by the 18's getting very aggressive. He knows what he needs to do. He's a must-win situation, as well as this 31 and 10.
The 2 of Adam
Currently
moves back to the top lane.
Currently, the 31 can make it in on points, as the cars he needs to beat are not in this top 10 whatsoever. But that can still change as plenty of laps going through. This 18 knows he needs to get aggressive, and he's doing that, leading that bottom lane back into the back room to the 4 car.
Middle
Yeah, I was
lane
going to
is
say, the
formed.
4, he made a really big move on the 18. Fortunate that they weren't able to cause a big stack up there and even a wreck.
Middle
That
lane
looks like
was
that's the
formed.
48 lead the inside line.
Yep. Sterlo, looks like Squid, and possibly, I don't know who, but there was 3 cars in the middle lane, and Sterlo moved back up in the top lane, but is making another run under Adam, but just doesn't have help. Adam makes a move to the bottom lane again.
We are on lap 69 of 94. So nearing ever so closely to the end.
And nearing closer to what could be the final round of green flag pit stops, too. '50 car under the yellow.
It's back on, does not gain. Here comes Proxy down to the inside, see what he can do.
We didn't mention that, but Rocky did, I believe, get his lap back after going a lap down, but towards the end of stage 2.
Oh yeah, the free pass.
Speaking of what's going on around the 50, 12 car right behind him trying to stay in this draft. One of the last cars in this lead pack right now.
Bottom lane has gained a considerable amount of ground. So Savage makes a run to the bottom and gets into Dark and the 9. That's been a really aggressive move to get to the bottom, but he's going to fall back and fall in line in the top lane again. That was a close call. But the 2 of Adam is getting closer to being equal with that top lane with DD and Lost.
It's taken a few laps, so now they are side by side down off the very top and down by the apron.
Ford did get out of line
Massive
on
run
this
of that top
for a
lane, though.
second, but yeah, the Ford had an issue, got a little too much on the apron, and Solvable had to let up to let him back in. Luckily, Dark allowed him to.
I'm telling you, one thing that I've been seeing throughout this entire race is how strong that 47 car has been. He can lead a line, no matter if it's on the bottom or on the top. I expect this 47 car to be up here towards the very end of the race.
I gotta give
You
it the whole
definitely
field.
can, yeah.
The way the field has had looked like they're gonna have an issue and clean it up very quickly. It's very, very sharp for this field to do so.
I will say, I think this is the race we're going to go caution free. But you never know once we get down to that pit cycle and we're going to spread out. And if we get a group of cars late, it's going to get aggressive.
Yeah.
5 car in the wall by himself. I'm not sure if that's flag or not.
Bottom lane's having a tough time gathering up momentum to get back equal at the top lane, but the top lane keeps on trying to get deorganized or a card subs out of line that's going to help that bottom lane get equal.
So still keeping an eye on this 31. We are currently at 22 to go, so fuel window is open. But you still have about 8 laps to go on that fuel.
Yeah, I would not
Also,
pit right
Cowboys,
now.
Cowboy, I see you in the chat. I will post that link instead for you.
I would not pit right now if I'm any one of these guys. I would maybe pit around maybe 18, 19-ish to go. I would definitely not pit right now. That's way too risky, especially with the chance of overtime if Sterlo gets hit by the 23. That could have been disaster.
Incredible saves by those guys is the 23 was the car that got too much on the wall and had an issue, caused them to get into Sterlo, but they did regather it pretty quick, but top line is now not formed and the bottom lane has a chance to get equal and pass the top lane. That was a big moment, but again, this is a very residual group that cleans up their incidents very quickly.
DD
As
goes
DD
down,
lost.
Lost follows. They're getting ready to pit.
That's going to lead to 16 to 31 and the 10. Remember, all three of those guys did not hit with the giant pack in the last stage.
But
They
D5
weren't
just on the
leading
line.
in this part, so I think they're ready to do that again.
Yeah.
Oh, hard in the wall!
Big moment in the wall.
Oh, boy.
I think the Fast Racer blocked their momentum and it knocked them up into the wall.
Yeah,
I think the
31.
big loser was that the 31 that just
Yeah,
dropped to
that
the
was
back
the
of the field there?
31.
That is not the one that they needed that to happen to.
And now he's got to stay in this draft. Looks like he's going to be able to.
Some
Boston
cars are
Adam
backing
was
off to
second,
grab him.
third.
It looks like Rocky Top, Dusty Stud, a few of these guys are spaced out to give him room. Well as Irish.
That's a hot one.
Irish
There's only
might
2 to 3
lose it
cars
here,
back.
letting the 31 in.
Oh!
Oh!
Came up.
31's going to save it!
Oh my gosh.
Rocky's going to
They're
lose the draft.
still within draft range. A little bit of a gap between Savage and Squid there, but he's got to catch these guys soon.
Unfortunately, that's going to leave Rocky Top out of the drafts. So unfortunate.
Rocky Top goes out. You got Hot One and Irish together. They're catching the back one from the 23. Massive run flying up. They're still connected with the main draft.
Oh, but he checks
Savage
up to let
blocks
Savage
his teammates, but they are still in line. It looks like where they are sitting there good. GS has pit, I believe, by himself. So that might not be good for him.
It was probably anticipating that issue to get more, but it looks like it's not going to be going his way.
So everybody stays out one more time. We will see the lap count at 18 to go, so well within the fuel range.
Yeah, I would pit either this time or next time if I'm anyone in this lead pack right now.
Leader is at 4 laps of fuel, so I'd imagine some of them will stay out even longer, but if you want to try to take the risk of taking over the lead from the early pit, do you have enough cars to do that with?
You gotta form a plan with enough of your friends and teammates in order to make to keep any type of ground or to gain any. You definitely don't want to have any less than 4. But it looks like it's looking to shape up to be the whole pack pitting on one lap again, and maybe 5 to 8 cars staying out an extra lap.
Usually happens because you don't want to pit with every single car, because then you got to fight through traffic getting up to speed. You might get knocked out of line, lose draft.
I've yet to see
Staying
any
out,
signals,
you're able
so
to control that.
I've not seen a signal, so they may stay out another lap here. I could be wrong.
I do believe most signals are verbal for them, so
Yeah, looks like everyone
Still
stays
going.
out.
looking at our playoff drivers as they currently run, looking at Lost sitting in second, Proxy third. I believe this is Insolvable down in sixth. It is. So only 2 playoff drivers in the top 5. You got 1,
Thurlow's
2
in that 10th
maybe
spot.
in the top 10. Yeah, only 2 others in the top 10 currently. Everyone else is in the backfield.
Oh, here we go.
There they go.
There we
Few
go,
leaders
pit stops.
going in. Proxy stays out. Insolvable stays out. A lot of cars stay out. Not a lot pit this
Oh.
time.
Lost
It's a
got
bit of
loose
an
under
opposite
brakes
switch this time.
and Lost got loose under braking and hit his teammate of the 4 into the wall. So I'm pretty sure the 4 has quite a good amount of damage to his car.
Alright, so with the short pack pitting first, now here comes the rest of the field. Insolvable leads from this point.
Yeah, I would imagine if they lose the 4 car, for those that hit it last lap, that could end up making them lose a lot of time.
I'm not sure if the 4 car is still in the race. I saw him up against the wall in the one pit
Insolvable
box.
pits by himself!
Oh, there's 1 car behind him, but he's way too
The
far back.
18 and one other car pit by themselves.
That's
Looks like
Squid.
Insolvable and Squid.
That is going to knock them out. Caution!
Wow.
A caution call. He pit at caution.
Silent Kings has looked like he has DNF'd out of the race.
What is that penalty for that? Does the 18 and 3 go to the tail for pitting at caution call?
Well, if they pit before they hit the line, is that still a penalty?
I'm not sure. If it's
Salvo's
caution
getting a
call,
lap
I
back.
think they close pits.
Yeah, she up against the wall, I'm not sure why.
Looks like Rocky Top in the 50 also DNF'd.
So our first caution of the night comes during green flag pits. So that means we are good to go to the end.
9 has dropped the
Some
apron,
cars have
trying to
already
roll in the
pit.
pit. Do we have any idea or clue what the caution could have been for?
I do not know. Would it be for the 4? No, because that would have been the same lap, wouldn't it?
For contact with the 41,
It could have been. That was the only one that we've physically seen.
but I only saw those 2 have contact.
Yeah.
It is still closed. Still trying to figure out what the caution is for, probably. Some guys
So,
get
yeah, so
fumes.
with all of that, you're going to have to realize which cars still have to pit. That's basically the majority of this top 15 right here. Some cars have already pit and a little bit worn on the tires and fuel, but they don't have to. And then you look at the 18 and 3 pitting before they take caution. Where do some of those guys end up?
I'd have to assume everyone from GS back are the ones that have pitted.
Oh,
before the
77,
caution
I
came
think, might have an issue here.
That's Mets. He's probably parking or doing something to find out. Yeah, Mets doesn't really care about his race. He just tries to get the stuff settled. .27 of Jennings is out.
So as we are trying to figure out what this caution is for and try to gather everything up, want to give a quick shout out. You know, Father's Day was Sunday, and so I just want to give a big shout out to all the fathers out there. I know there's some fathers in the field. I just want to say just a big happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Alright, so how do we stack this up? So I'm looking at Didi. He has loss in front of him. They're down in 17th, 18th. So behind that 18, which that might actually give Insolvable the lead, maybe.
Got word
Some
pits
cars
are
coming in that
open.
need to pit.
55
almost
Fast
past
Racer
somebody.
has ran out of fuel.
Yep.
The 55 ran out of fuel.
The 18 who pit coming to that caution does not and will be the lead, followed by, I
DD
believe,
King.
Didi.
Yeah.
Only 2.
Huh.
But now keep in mind, the cars that pit from the first run, they're going to be doing minimal stop there, so they're going to move up into third and beyond.
It'd be interesting to see when the field catches back up to the 47 to 18 if these are going to be our two front-running cars, or if it's just going to be the 47 as our leader. Still not quite sure with the 18 if he's going to hold the lead or not. But this would be huge for him.
So we're going to be within 10 to go at green, I would believe.
Savage using
Roxy
apron, dropping
third.
over.
Spartan fourth, Savage fifth.
Well, something might be going wrong here with Savage.
No, he
Maybe.
I believe pitted when the pit road was closed. So he
I
might be
do want to
coming over
mention
right
this
here.
though. Notice how the 43 is up towards the front. The 41, however, all the way towards the back.
Mm-hmm. It's not looking good for that 41. It definitely won't be good if someone like this 18 or 2 car wind up winning this race. 2 guys under the line. Come up to choose. You're able to pit if you want to. I don't see anybody taking those, so we will choose and be ready to go the next time by. DD down to the bottom to follow the 18 Proxy and Spartan to the top. I missed the lap count, but I would imagine we were around 10 to 9 to go once we go green.
Yeah, we're on lap 84 of 94, so it'll be 10 to go when they get back around.
Alright. Rolling back through turn 3 and 4. Solvable
Looks like
control car. Everyone's set. See what they do.
yeah, we got pretty much all our point guys up here. We got Insolvable, Proxy, Serlo. That's a hot one. 2 gives the 18 a little tap. No, Irish, or not Irish, Iron Man is in there somewhere. Yeah,
2
looks like he's
must
in there.
win or must majorly point in guys leading up to the restart zone. Let's see how they handle this. Single digits left. They get going. A really good restart by that bottom lane. Not a bad one from the top, but that bottom lane will prevail. Push the 47 up ahead. Here comes a good run from the other cars. Tight 2x2 all the way back. Solvable does get out in front. Didi, I think, is not going to stay with the 18. Dives up into the top lane.
It's going to stack everyone up. The 14's in the middle of the 2, the 3 wide.
14
It's gonna shove
is going to
out
go
Didi and
pull the
Proxy.
31 with him.
And Proxy's like, you got to be kidding me.
That knocks one playoff driver away from that line. The 21 into them. Round goes the 47. Into the 2. I think single car. Multiple cars around on the line there.
Yeah,
That
Savage.
should be caution.
Quit.
Savage. Bet's got hit down
And
pit
that
road.
is caution.
That's caution.
Another caution. That is huge for the 18 as he's maintained the lead there and took off a few laps. Didi, who made the aggressive move, took the bad end of that wreck there.
I cannot imagine how frustrated Proxy is probably from
Yep, knocked
that
through the
incident.
field and immediately got a caution before he could make it back up. He's deep in the field, all the way at the tail.
Hmm.
So that immediately shook some things up. Let's see where they stand currently. Top playoff driver in the lead, the 18. Third place, Sterlo. The next one, the
Iron Man.
12, I believe sits in fifth.
Yep.
And then behind him, you got the 31 down in seventh. And the next one back, I believe, is the locked car of Irish, just outside the top 10. So they are fairly spread out. The 41 of Lost, deep midfield. He
Yeah,
needs
Lost
to get
scored
something going there.
14th.
I'd imagine nobody pits here other than maybe some damaged cars.
Yeah, a couple takers.
That means they're probably going to have one to go to get to the lane split.
So luckily a ad just got ran now, so we will not have it at green, and there will be 7 laps to go, so still able to call caution.
We got a quick sports update from
Ooh, actually they didn't
the
choose there.
NBA world basketball. The Boston Celtics have won the NBA Finals 4-1. I do not know the score right now. That's yet to be updated. But the Boston Celtics are your 2024 NBA Finals champions.
I just want to mention this real quick, but look who's on the outside of row 1.
Oh
How about
god.
that one car?
How aggressive does Bren get? The highest he has finished in Premier is a 6th place, which I want to say was New Hampshire. I could be wrong. But he has been looking for something here in the top series. Now coming up to, I believe, 7, if not 6 to go. Him and Insolvable still looking for a first win. His highest finish is 2nd, came this season off of fuel and tire race. Oh, lost, dies off of the restart. I'm not sure what happened back there.
They may
I
have to
don't think
wave off the restart.
Yeah, they may
That'll
have
be
to.
huge.
if they wave off this restart, we will go green with no more, and that is huge for Insolvable.
Yeah, Witt's got damage again.
They're spacing out. They wave it off.
They
I
have
don't
waved
know
off
what
the
happened
restart.
back there.
Yeah, looked like there was a
May have
big
been the
stack
back
up around the
downshift.
41 and the 21, both with heavy damage.
That's going to be 7 to the line. It will be 6 to go when they go green. 1 lap for caution.
And when it gets to 5 to go, expect everybody to put their boxing gloves on, because this is going to be like a boxing match. No one's going to help anybody unless if you're Irish or Savage.
Yeah, and Lost is going to have to hustle. He's just now exiting pit road. They're getting to the exit of 2.
He'll make it. They're saying the 47 did something into the 41. So I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Whatever a
Definitely-
Jamie is under caution, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, the 47 is definitely going to have a few people frustrated with him. He helped the 2 follow the rear of the field, and then under this caution, he got into loss. I'm not indicating whether it's intentional or not, but That's two of our playoff
Yeah.
contenders who are not going to be pretty happy with that 47 car.
Alright, now we can come up to the restart zone and solvable leads once again. Brent on the outside, Georgia Dog following with Sterlo, and then you have Spartan, and that's a hot one. A bunch of much needed guys for a good finish. Some needing the win. It's win or nothing for some of them. It's going to get very aggressive down to the last few laps. 6 to go, and Solvable almost a sitting duck all the way out front like he is. He's going to pull the 9. Does the 9 go up? Sterlo sitting in third. He's going to get aggressive soon.
4 playoff drivers in the top 5.
Looking at how they run right now, I was just about to say, Sterlo and Ironman being up here front late, they're going to be the most aggressive. They will not work with the 18 whatsoever. Keep an eye on it if they get there.
Bryn just got moved out of line by Dark Spartan. It's Bryn and Ironman to the very
That's
top.
That's going to knock Ironman back. Ironman's going to need to pick up some spots back again, or he can risk being knocked out of the playoffs here.
One less lap means even more chaos can happen.
4 to go.
5 to go. No more caution call.
Looks like that's Yoshi in the middle. He's going to try to find a spot on top lane. Can't fill the hole. He's going to fall back to behind loss. Irish gets sent out in the middle.
Nothing with that. The top lane forming fast. Here comes the 43. Does not join them.
Top lane is around 3rd, 4th place on the bottom line.
A few cars shuffling off in the back. They're going to fall off, but they're still going to get a good run down the back stretch here. Or the front stretch. Ooh, 31 getting pushed under.
Fortunately, he was able to save it, but the 5's going to lose a ton of ground.
That's
4 to go, and Solvable still in the lead. Slow gains by that top lane. Every inch counts for these guys. They're getting car length by car length.
Well, they're going to have a hiccup because Bryn just got the wall and kind of shoved the 10 back a couple car lengths, but they're back with Iron Man.
Here comes Sterlo to the outside. He's got help from the 14.
14 tried to dodge it, but couldn't. They have to stay on line to push him.
That's a hot one now to 3rd on the bottom lane and 3rd in the overall race. But he's neck to neck with the outside lane.
If the 18 wins this, he advances into the Final 4, joins the 16 and the 8, and possibly the 12.
Sterlo is alongside the 9. 14.
3 laps to go.
By Sterlo.
They're starting to stack up back there. They're starting to touch.
The outside lane is deforming.
At 12 is getting close to a few cars here.
Outside lane has lost the momentum.
The 43, the 48. That could have been bad.
Still can't get in line.
It's getting very dicey back here. Squid almost in a top 5 position as well.
That's a hot one. Almost came off the bottom.
Sterlo, who is away from Lost, can ride where he actually Lost is right here behind him. I'm not sure on the point position for that is, but he's got to work to get some spots then.
Oh,
just to be safe.
Around.
Oh, we got a car around in the back. Hard contact into the outside wall.
Who went around? 2 to go, and Solvable still leads. Lost is out. Lost has been eliminated from playoff contention.
Georgia
Sterlo
has come off the rear of the 18 of the Unsolvable, trying to get a run here. No momentum gain yet.
Currently, what we're looking at, Unsolvable current leader could be locked in. If it's not him and Georgia Dog wins this race, Sterlo gets in. But right now, being taken by the 18.
Here comes that high line. GS with a big run.
GS with a big run to the outside.
Needs this win as well. Here comes the 10. 18's a sitting duck. Where's the 9 go? Coming up to the white flag. The 9 car goes up. The 31 stays down. He needs this as well. The 9 will clear the 18 to the lead. Here comes the 23, Dusty. They're going to split the 23. He gets down in the bottom lane.
Irish
The
in the
9
wall.
has the lead. Final lap right now. 18's got to get aggressive. 10 car has a better chance. The 2 cars up there as well.
2 car and the 10.
4 must-win cars in a line right here. Being stopped by the 9 of Georgia Dog.
Georgia Dog's being pushed by Insolvable. This is what Insolvable needs. Can he form run? He moves just.
The 18 is in a hole. He needs to back off the 9 or he can't go anywhere. This 9 is going to win. He's building the run now. The 10 car knocked out of it. The 31, no chance. Here comes the run.
There he goes.
The 18 is going to go. The 2 doesn't push. Run from the 19. He doesn't get it. The 18 does not
Georgia
get the
Dog
push,
wins
and
the race.
Georgia Dog will take it. And Solvable is pushed out of the playoffs by the 2 car. Georgia Dog takes the win on a last-ditch effort push. What a finish. That is a heartbreaker for the 18.
Yeah.
Georgia Dog plays spoiler. Proxy takes second. And Solvable, another career high, 3rd place.
And here's
Dusty,
another thing
4th.
too.
And Squid gets 5th.
Lost gets 7th. Sterlo 10th.
Oh my God.
That's not going to be enough.
Lost jumped the 43 towards the end. I thought he had wrecked.
I'm not sure who was the car that
But-
wrecked.
But
They
if
haven't
the 41's there and they had about equal stage points, Lost might have gotten in over Sterlo.
It's really going to depend on how many points Lost got in stage 1, because he didn't get any points in stage 2.
I don't know who was that car that wrecked. With like 4 to go. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, that was the 21.
Okay, that's what I want to wit.
After
Holy
that,
goodness, what a finish.
I had to get a text in our fast lap. Thought that's a hot one. I believe got it, unless someone else left the lobby.
Yeah,
But wow,
I also have to remember
that
stage
was
points.
a lot.
So
I'm not positive on that. I'm not. Do we have? Actually, yeah. Mets, is Iron Man going to do points like currently? Because we lost track of who was where, not able to see the stages. Alright, I know we need Squid. Yeah.
we can get him in here.
So it'll be 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, as we try to gather all the results of the race and figure out where everyone is.
Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Who else are we missing? Who was it?
I know it was Georgia, the 2,
18.
18.
Got him. Got him.
That was
Got
very
it.
squid, yeah.
I feel like I missed
Yeah.
something. I guess we can go ahead and start with our third place. You haven't had many of these up here with us, but it's always great to see you back up here. Always in these super speedways. Mentioned your first winner, got that dual win. You put up a good fight on our previous races here and a rebound top five. You were running pretty solid within the top 10 pretty much the whole night. Got up where you needed to be after those late cautions and were able to capitalize and hold off onto a fifth. We know your playoff run ended very early, but a good run for your season regardless. You still have one more race after this. How do you feel after this finish? Do you think you can replicate it coming up next week? And how do you feel about our race that we had so far? Only two cautions, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Squid, are you live? Are you alive? Squid. I thought he was. Oh yeah, he's not. Okay, I think I saw him join, but he probably just disconnected. That's who we were missing. Could be wrong. Technical difficulties. Waiting on him to get in. Uh, he is not responding, so we might have to start with fourth. Yeah, I don't want to wait too long, so I guess we'll move up to fourth to start. That was who again? Ah, Dusty, welcome back. It's been a while since I've talked to you. I believe this is your first top five appearance. Uh, Coming in, you don't have much experience with some of these guys. Ran a very solid race. I believe you led a few laps, if not, you were within that top five battle and pushing the leaders a good bit. How do you take away your experience here at the ODRL Texas playoff race with all the tensions late, the chaos at the end there? Yeah, it's always good to see you out here. You're always respectful and love watching you race around these guys. Definitely a good contender. Look forward to seeing what you could do next season. Yep. Still don't have Squid, so we can move up into third. Hendrick, you mind taking that one over? That should be
Yes.
our 18 of Insolvable.
Yes, sir. All right. We're here with our third place finisher, driver of the number 18 Insolvable. Insolvable, make sure your audio is included. First off, congrats on a good run. You almost had it there at the end. One question I do have in mind is, do you think you could have done anything different there that could have maybe helped you win the race there at the end?
I think if I'd have built a bigger run up coming off of turn four, I probably would have got him. But I thought somebody would come behind me and push me, but I was wrong. Just unlucky, to be honest.
So, thinking about that whole last couple of laps there, you had the two car proxy there with you. You had 31 up there with you. You had the 10 with you. What were you thinking there at the end of the race? Were you just thinking about just winning the race, or were you thinking about all the other guys that were around you that were in the playoffs too?
There towards the end, my main thing was making sure they didn't back up too far off of me, but they slowed down so much at one point that I just couldn't back off anymore, or I would have got trained. So I just kind of settled in the second, I believe, whenever
Mm-hmm.
Georgia got around me, and ended up trying to pass him for the win because I'm pretty sure I had to win to lock in.
So now with one more race to go, obviously I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is Homestead. Um, what is your goal to do there? Is your goal to try and end the season off with a win? Is your goal to try and end it off on a high note, like a top five? Like what is your mindset now, knowing that you are not in the championship four with one race to go?
My goal is going to be to try to win the race. Doubt it happens, but I'm going to stay positive and practice as much as I can.
All right. Well, before we send it off for our second place finisher, do you have any special shout outs that you want to give?
Shout out to Triple M. Shout out to Kevin for letting me race. Georgia, just everybody that helped me tonight. I appreciate it.
All right. Congrats on the third place finish, my man. I wish you the best of luck for Homestead.
Thank you, thank you.
No problem.
All right, then on to our second place finisher, the car that decided the race win. Coming out of turn four, the 18 made his run into the trioval. You gave a bumper shot to the 9 instead of the 18, which kept him out front, and then you pulled up with the draft to pass the 18 for second place at the line. I don't believe you made it in because I believe you were also a must win situation and only came out with a second. So, how do you take away the end of that race there? Could you have done any different move? Were you stuck in line? Did you expect to maybe get under Georgia at the end? Anything that you could do differently there?
Well, no, not really. I had came from 18th with like three to go. I had gotten in that wreck late, and I really was just, hail marrying it, basically just ruining everybody's night. Kind of took the top on the right at the right time, and then kind of just bullied my way up there. I knew I had to win, because this is my first race finish in this round. Because the other two, one I didn't make, and the other one I lagged out on, so I was kind of in a big hole to begin with. So we were coming to the line, and honestly, coming out of four, I knew who I was going to push to begin with, and it was nothing personally insolvable. I was just thinking about Nick because he was on the bubble, and if insolvable wins, then that's another, bumps him down, puts him in jeopardy. So it wasn't anything personal. It was just for the team. I just didn't think pushing the 18 there was going to be good for our team and our shot to have somebody in the final four. So I just kind of stuck where I was, and I knew Georgia would have a good run, and kind of just there was nowhere to go. There was no third lane for me to get, so I kind of just rode in and knew where I was going to finish and just hope for the best.
All right, that's understandable. Just unfortunate it ended that way. I think if that wreck before the restart didn't happen, our outcome here would have been completely different with those few extra laps. But regardless, it set up for an amazing finish. Good job by you, able to rebound and get a second place. It is unfortunate you were not able to make it to the final four, but a good season by you regardless from the ones that you've made it. And I will let Hendrick take over our race winner.
All right. Georgia Dog, you got a copy there, my friend.
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. Well, first off, congrats on the dub. I know this one's got to feel good for
I
you.
appreciate it. Yes, it
Uh,
does.
Tell us, how were you feeling there for the last, I would say, last two laps to start us off?
Um, well, I knew that I was in a good spot, right? And I was just waiting for the right moment. And I seen the 31 get a huge sub from whoever was behind him. Um, and I was like, all right, that's my cue to go. So I went to the outside of the 18, and from there, it was all about blocking. I seen the 10 had a huge run on the outside. I blocked him, came down. I think the 18 was in the middle. And then I came down to the very low lane. I seen the two coming and blocked him, and the rest is history. So
So obviously, I know this has to be a good start to the new week for you, now winning in Premier. But I do want to ask you a question moving forward to the
Okay.
NXT Championship, since you're one of the final four drivers. How do you feel about your chances of winning the title?
Um, I feel like I've got a good chance. I practiced about a week and a half ago, and I feel like I have a pretty good car. I'm not gonna touch anything with it. I practiced with Ren and a few other guys, and I feel really good about being able to close the deal out there. So, but you know, we'll see when that time comes.
Definitely got to be a momentum builder for what's to come, and definitely you must feel very confident with what you have going into the final race in the NXT series.
Yeah, I mean this win right here is a huge weight off my shoulders because I haven't had a win in this series since like I think season 2 or season 1 of this series. So this is a huge weight off my shoulders. I can't thank everybody enough for uh just ha helping me out with setups and all that stuff. And a lot of these guys I'm really close friends with. They put a lot of faith in me. Um, you know, and I just really can't thank them enough. This is again definitely a huge weight off my shoulders, and um, can't wait to see if we can finish out the year strong.
So I do have one more question for you. Obviously, it's the most
Okay.
obvious one I ask everyone, but do you have any special shout outs you have before I send it back over to Camo?
Yeah, Camo, you, um, I cannot wait to go back to watch this stream. I know that it's a very intense race, at least for me, so I can't wait to go back and watch it. I want to give a shout out to Mets and Mr. Nick himself for always putting on great races. This is, I mean, I love this lead so much. This is by far the best lead that I've ever been in. So thank you guys for making it what it is today.
All right, congrats on the dub, my man. I wish you the best of luck for not only the finale for NXT, but also the finale for Premier.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
All right. And that was our finish at Talladega. A very calm and tame race set up at the end for an amazing finish. Almost went caution free, but we will take some minor wrecks at the end. A very clean race to set the final four. Do we have a call on that, Iron Man?
Okay. Officially off points, barring any penalties or anything like that. Official final four will be Irish, Savage, Lost My Plan B, and Iron Man.
And there it is. After Lost regained his positions back, knocks out Sterlo, who was not going to be able to make the next race. So we will have the 16, 8, 41, and 12 fighting at Homestead for the championship race.
Any closing thoughts you got about what we got in store for next week? I mean, it's a pretty packed Final Four, and I expect nothing but hard, clean, fun racing next week with the Final Four that we have.
With that group of people, we could see anything. We have the aggressor, we have the tame, we have the patient,
We have the
and
strategist.
we have the strategist. So complete different mindsets. I guarantee it going into that race, and I cannot wait to see how they do it. I have my favorites. I'm sure everyone else has their favorites, and we'll see how they contribute that going in. So
But
with that,
no matter who your favorite is, it's still astonishing and give just a big appreciation to how they done through the season and into making it into the final four. Just that alone with an impressive season. I gotta give it to the final four.
all right, and that we can go ahead and end. That was ODRL at Dega. This was Hendrick Fan and Master Killer joining me on the return, and we will see y'all next week for Homestead.